Okay, so this will be my first video with the Cooper Flagg signing. I definitely wanted to cover just a little bit of my feelings on it. His signing with New Balance basketball in this case. Obviously, it's a great one. I don't think anybody has said Cooper Flagg is a bad signing. The one thing people are saying is, of course, where they're expressing their criticism of Cooper. Oh, we should have signed with Nike. What is he doing? What is he thinking? Well, definitely something I want to cover. For starters, Nike is crowded. There's a reason why all these guys are not signing with Nike. Nike has some big signings. Obviously, recently, Wembanyama was a huge one. But guess what? That's one big spot taken. Zion Williamson a couple years ago. That's another big spot taken. Luka, big spot taken. Tatum, big spot taken. LeBron James. Right now, LeBron James, he's in the dwindling years. It's a swan song for him. You know, he's got, who knows, maybe he has 5 years left. We don't know for sure. But he has 1, 2, 3 seasons left. You never know. I think Nike doesn't want to capitalize on that. You think they don't want to focus all their attention, or at least a good portion of it, on him, dedicate the resources, time and effort, money that they could spend on other players, that they will funnel towards him, knowing that they want to recoup their investment while he's there, that he's the most relevant when he's on the court. They don't know that he'll have the legacy that a Kobe or Jordan has after the fact, where they're beloved, where they're respected. He might not, but they want to get the most out of their investment while they have him on court. That's huge for them, huge for them. You see a guy like Wembanyama, number 1 pick, they barely started to scratch the surface with him. Looks like they're going to do a signature with him. You know, you got Tatum and Luka. They just met in the finals for the first time. Luka's first trip, Tatum obviously his second. But that's something they have to be thinking about. If I can see it, they definitely can see it, and probably thought about it before they even made the finals. You know, anticipating these kind of moves. So those are big spots taken. So where does Cooper Flagg fit into all that for a Nike brand? You know, for a company like that, who knows? And of course the Jordan brand, and obviously the players under that umbrella with the Tatum and with the Luka, for example. So, and a Williamson still there. You know, what if Williamson starts having a career resurgence, starts making it happen again? They will want to pay attention to that. They'll want to market that. So it's crowded. New Balance doesn't have that same issue. They have the capability. Look, they're wide open right now. You know, you never know what will happen with Kawhi. Hope he stays healthy. Pray he stays healthy. You never know. You don't know what will happen with him. Jamal Murray, look, he struggled at the Olympics. I didn't see any of the games. I heard about it, and I saw one game. Yeah, he didn't play great. That was the Olympics. It's the NBA season now coming up. That's where it truly matters. That's where he can make the difference for his team. NBA championship. They win another if they're competitive. All that Olympic stuff will be forgotten. We can look at Steph Curry. There was a time when he was not considered clutch. He was considered far from clutch. And now, boy, totally different story for him. How he's perceived, how he's looked at after those amazing Olympic performances. Can't deny that. So, yeah, anything can happen there. With Kawhi, with Jamal, Tyrese Maxey, look, we don't know what's going to happen with him. He's big. He's somebody hopefully that can be promoted. People want to see PEs for him. They want to see signature shoes. We don't know what will happen there. You know, Zach, look, his career, boy, it's taken kind of a turn. He's still a talented player. We don't know what will happen in Chicago. They seem to want him out. I don't know that he wants to stay. DeJounte Murray, you know, it's kind of quiet with him. He's in New Orleans. We'll see. So look, there's just room. Cam Brings being injured doesn't help. I hate it. Man, that one hurt when she got injured. That's a big spot, and that's somebody that they can definitely market and team up with Cooper. But for now, it's pretty open. They'll have room when he's ready to be promoted. The one thing people need to keep in mind is that, as they know, he's going to Duke, and there's only so much you can do with him. We can look back at what happened with Kim and Stanford as the example, as that blueprint. She didn't get a PE. She didn't get a signature, obviously. She wasn't seen very much in New Balance. They promoted her a little, but there were limits to what they can do. Look, it's a college season. It's a grind for them. They have to make sure that the player can focus on the task at hand, the games and school. That college experience, let them live a little bit. They're young. He's 17, I think, 18. So let him have that. That's okay. They'll have him for the NBA draft. Maybe the holidays they'll do promotion. Maybe January, February, March when new models come out. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. We will find out. But for now, there's no big rush for him. Whatever they do, they do. So that's the thing. There's the time for that. They can work a little slower, it seems. He didn't have to go to Nike and worry about getting pushed into the background, maybe not getting his chance to even have a time in the spotlight. Look, it's even a thing like Duke is a good example. He's going to Duke as the number one guy. He's in that spot. There are guys probably on the bench, 12th men, who are All-Americans in high school, who are the man at their school, in their district, in their county, in their city, in their state, whatever. Doesn't happen for everybody, and not everybody gets a chance to shine, no matter how good you were, no matter your position before you got to where you are now. So I think it's okay he didn't sign with Nike. I think it's a positive thing. I think it's great, obviously, for New Balance. Look, they can all lift each other up together. Obviously, he's at a great place in his career. New Balance is going to be able to market somebody like him, I would say. They can do it. It should be fantastic. It should be tremendous. Nike will be fine, obviously. Not worried about them. The one thing I would say, there's the wild card. We know where he is now. He's at the premier college basketball team in the country. Maybe Kentucky, you can say, is up there. Kansas, Baylor, Houston, I guess, rose last year. Gonzaga is always competitive, but not like the elite. They're not that storied history like Duke. He's at the team. They know where he is. They know what to expect out of someone like him there. They know there's going to be a lot of attention paid to him. That little test that he had at the Olympics with the NBA players at the USA camp, passed it with flying colors by all accounts, so that's a good sign. Duke players, these prospects, they tend to do well. Banchero, Williamson, these guys pan out, these top prospects. Duke knows what they're doing when they recruit these guys, so high expectations there. It seems like he can handle it. He's coming from Maine, but he did play on a national circuit, so we'll see. He should be okay. But the big thing is, where does he end up next? You have a guy like Kawhi they signed, and Brinks. Both of those were also wild cards. We didn't know where Kawhi was going to go. We were pretty sure he was going to go to the Clippers. Brinks, he didn't know where she was going to go in the NBA draft, or WNBA draft, excuse me. But she ended up in LA. Kawhi ended up in LA, so it boded well for them, for New Balance to be able to promote them, have that West Coast presence, obviously a major media market. Where does he end up? Is it Detroit? Is it Charlotte? That's going to play a role in what they can do with him later on, how they can promote him, what kind of national presence he has. Is he going to be on TV? Is he going to have the chance to be in national games as much as he might want to be, as much as New Balance might want him to be to promote him? We don't know. We have no idea. So there are definitely things to consider there. It's the long game for New Balance. It's a youth movement. Look, I think New Balance, more than a Nike, can do something with a PE, with a clothing line. You go to Foot Locker now, and you can see, or at least when it was out, the Webby PE sitting there in some of his clothing. And did it have to be at Foot Locker? Could Nike have just sold it direct and just had it sell out, not worry about it? Yeah, and New Balance can do that too, and they have their own stores to do that, not worry about a Foot Locker or Champs that present. So the prospects are exciting. We know he came from Maine, of course. He has a chance to do maybe a Made in USA PE. Like, the story is there for that Made in USA 997. You can have whatever other players in there in the mix you want. Not entirely necessary, but you can. If you want to throw Teddy in there, you can. Joe Freshgoods would be awesome. He's worked with basketball before. That'd be interesting. We'll see. Other players he can team up with, who knows? But I would definitely love to see that 997 PE happen along with a 2A, whatever shoe he ends up wearing. Seems like the 2A will be his shoe. So a lot of potential there. Not going to be huge. It's not going to sell millions of units, but for limited drops that create some hype, some buzz, and not just in the hoops realm, but in that lifestyle realm. That that meshing, that merging. Always see how they work in tandem, hand in hand with each other. So it's just another opportunity for them to grow that relationship, and for both the lines to get some of that hype and take it from a Nike and basically Nike. I mean, nobody said he should sign with Adidas. Nobody said he should sign with Puma. It's very interesting how it's just Nike or bust. Come on, there's other competition. He didn't have to sign with a China brand or a Puma or Adidas, but Nike's not the only player in the game. People consider the money. Come on. I mean, if we think this kid's going to be a number one pick, if we think he's worthy of signing with Nike as a number one pick, do we think he's going to go broke? Do we think he's going to go hungry anytime soon? No. No, we're not worried about that. Do we know how much money he got? No. Do we know Nike even tried to sign this kid? We don't. I have to think, I have to speculate, who knows, but my guess is that Nike didn't try to sign him. Nike sees him as a Nike athlete. He's always in Kobe's. He signed with a Nike school. What other conclusion can you come to? Pretty safe one to make. So the fact that he signed with New Balance obviously is that much more of a surprise. Surely came as a surprise to them. They had to think, we have time to lock this kid up. He's ours. Hey, didn't quite work out that way. Works out well for New Balance. It's exciting. Big time moves. We don't know what'll happen, but it's a place on the roster. Hopefully people have noticed that Nike's signing a lot of youth. New Balance is signing a lot of youth players. It doesn't seem like Nike is focusing on them. Puma, any of those players. So it's very interesting to see it take place. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, be watching. Go from there. So hey, this is my first video on the topic. Who knows who's gonna watch this? If nobody sees it, fine. Happy to put my thoughts out there. I certainly have so many more, but 12.5 minutes is plenty. Go from there. Maybe I'll do some more videos on the topic in the future as news comes out. Maybe more on New Balance hoops. Who knows? All right. Thanks for watching. If you had a chance, I would say subscribe to the channel, but do what you want. Later.